If you'd like to learn Chinese without the hassle of repetition again and again and again with spaced repetition software, and you're willing to just try using your mind as a form of spaced repetition software, well, today is day 2 of the 30-day memory challenge with Chinese phrases. And this is what we're going to look at just as a little review of yesterday. We saw this. If you want to go through it, then you can click on the link in the description below for day 1. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and we're going to go into exactly how this image can help you remember a very, very useful phrase in Chinese, which is ni xìng shén ma. And this one is something you're going to want to have, so that's coming up. Now, as you know from video 1, one of my goals here is to make sure that you understand how and why mnemonics for Chinese work. And, my first mission is to share my own mnemonics for Chinese phrases that I'm going through. And I want to share how and why these images work with you from the perspective of a mnemonist who loves languages and loves to figure out images so that I can burn these images, magnetize them really into my mind. This is the magnetic memory method after all. And I want to inspire your imagination and your memory so that you actually go and try these things for yourself, make your own images. And of course, I want to win you as a lifelong subscriber to this channel. So if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified, and hit the little bell because that'll let you know when new videos come out. So let's get started with this particular image, and this is ni xìng shén ma. And what I've got going on here and how I was able to remember this very, very quickly is that I've got the Karate Kid, that's who's being represented there with that karate dude, and he's got his knee up there. Now, knee means you, of course, and I'm not going to use dirty language on my YouTube channel here, but you can probably imagine what that brown little guy is and why that it might remind me of the sh sound. Now, you'll see in other videos as we go through this series that sometimes I use shenaya also to get a sh sound, but in this particular case, I just thought of this guy, and he just fits so nicely on the yin-yang, which helps with this xing sound. Now, shén ma, of course, as I explained in video number 1, is always represented by shenaya on a horse. And as you go through this series, you'll begin to see how powerful and useful that is to reuse images. So we're going to see the Karate Kid a lot. In fact, the Karate Kid is a stand-in for ni again and again and again, just as Shania Twain is a stand-in for shén ma. And what you're doing there is you're reducing cognitive overload because you get to reuse the same images again and again and again. Now, in some cases, you'll want to pivot, you'll want to use other ones, but if you have something locked down, then you're going to succeed very, very well. And so what does this phrase mean? Let's look at it with the pinyin. So, ni xìng shén ma. If you think back to day 1, and that was this particular phrase, which is ni jiao shén ma ming ci, that is a question. It is, what's your name? And in this case, it's, what's your family name? Ni xìng shén ma. And it's really, really great. And if we look at it with the characters, then that's what we got there. And it's more literally, your surname, what? And it's just a very good question to have. It's something that you can ask people and they will tell you the answer. And if you'd like to hear variations on this question in different regional accents from actual native Chinese speakers, and if you'd like to hear their answers, then where I'm getting these phrases from is something very, very special. It's called the Real Spoken Chinese Vault. And you can see that I'm going through this as we speak, and instead of going through it again and again and again 1,000,000 times, I'm going through it a very small amount of times and using these images in order to remember them. And my pronunciation isn't perfect, so I do come back to listen to pronunciation. And I happen to be very lucky that I have a Chinese native speaker at home, and there's a lot of Chinese people around, so I get to speak Chinese a little bit more than other people. But, if you are interested, I got some interesting things to show you that could really help you figure out how to get more speaking experience. And not only would you get beginner Real Spoken Chinese Vault, but you get elementary and also intermediate, which is pretty exciting. And if you'd like to have a look at where you can register for this, go to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. The YT stands for YouTube, and Chinese stands for Chinese. And this is something put together by Mandarin HQ. They're really great. I'm so excited about this that I've promoted it before, and I even created a Facebook group, which I'd love to invite you in. It's an extra bonus that people get when they use my special link to get the Real Spoken Chinese Vault. And it's something that lets you interact and be part of a group and special little conversation, really, that I engage with you about your Chinese adventure using mnemonics and memory techniques. And there's a lot of benefits to using the Real Spoken Chinese Vault, because as you'll see on this link, this is part of it, there's a real difference between using a textbook and actually hearing real speakers. So there's a lot of different ways that people actually speak things when you're out in the real world. And if you're just going from a textbook, well, that's not really going to cut it, and you're going to be surprised when you get out there, like when you go to Beijing or when you go to other places. I've been to Guilin in China, and things sound different. They use different phrases there, and you've got people having a very, very natural speed, and there are certain audio programs where they speak unnaturally slow, as you see here, and those come a lot often with these textbooks. And it's just way too clean and distinct, whereas in real life, people speak. And that's what the Real Spoken Chinese Vault gives you, real people and their real feelings. And what's so cool about these real feelings is, you can look them eye to eye through the magic of video, and you can actually have them repeat these phrases as many times as you like. It's really, really cool. And one of the other bonuses, in addition to this Facebook group that you get access with when you use this link, magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese, is you also get access to how to use the Real Spoken Chinese Vault with the magnetic memory method. So we're going to go through the actual placement of images like we've been talking about, so that you can actually put this in a memory palace in distinct locations that are different from this image, and how to actually revisit them so they are eased into your long-term memory without sweat and without hassle and without having to use apps or anything like that, so that you remember the sound and the meaning. And that is the real key about mnemonics, is that you can create all the images that you want, but if they don't help you recall the sound and the meaning in the same swift fell blow, then you're kind of lost, because you don't want to be able to recall just how things sound, or you don't want to be able to recall just how they mean, but you want to be able to get them both. And another little bonus that I've created for people that are using my link, they get the MMM Chinese tone control, because there's a way to remember the exact tones that are needed here. And what you do is essentially you have a second layer of imagery that shows you those tones, and it's very, very simple and easy to do if you have that system under your belt. And so that's a special thing that I create for people who use this link, and it's just a cool thing to know about and to explore and experiment with and have in your toolbox. And it has applications outside of this as well. Now, I also want you to be able to know how to find the right people to speak with, no matter where you are in the world. And I have the ultimate language learning secret for you, the second edition PDF of the book and the full video course, which it's inspiration based with practical advice about how to get the big five of language learning going for yourself day after day. And there's no secret here. The big five of language learning is reading, writing, speaking, and listening using your memory, because all of those activities feed your memory, and your memory feeds those activities. But there are some parts to it that you might not be aware of, and I'd like you to be able to have them. Another little bonus is something that I created. It's normally exclusive to the Magnetic Memory Method Masterclass, and that's how to memorize Chinese poetry. And it's a development of these tools. It teaches you something that's called the pillar technique, and it's really, really lovely. It'll help get you more familiar with characters. And, I'm even going to throw in, it's not done yet, but for people who are on the list that have gotten the Real Spoken Chinese Vault through this link, you're eventually going to get the book version of the course that I'm putting together that brings all of this together into a single training that you can read from beginning to end and get a full overview of everything in book format, in ebook format. So that's really, really great. And if we were to look at all this, I mean, getting to have the native speakers that you can listen to again and again on autopilot, speaking variations of the same phrases, and you don't just get these questions, but you also get the answers from native speakers. It's really, really great what happens for you in the Chinese vault. It's priceless. And then, you know, you get this Facebook community, which would normally be $47 a month. This is access to me and the people I brought together who are learning Chinese. Also, you know, Angel, who runs Mandarin HQ, she's a member there, so that's a lot of fun. And you have the community itself in her own course, so you really get double whammy. And that's just all included when you grab the Chinese Vault. And you get my Memory Palace training for free as a bonus, and that's valued at $97. Not only that, but tone control is $47, which you're just getting as a bonus. And the Ultimate Language Learning Secret is a $97 video course. You're getting the second edition of the book, which isn't even available yet. And, you know, the first edition of the book, if you were to get it into print, get it as a print book, is $14.99, $7.99 as Kindle, and you're getting the video course and the second edition of the book in advance of its release. And you also get this little mini training that is so valuable because of the pillar technique. That's $97 value. And on top of that, if you package all these bonuses together, that's $902, all for the price of the Real Spoken Chinese Vault. And I really, really want to, you know, make a deal with you. So in order to get all those bonuses, to encourage you to take a chance on the Real Spoken Chinese Vault, use this link. You'll get these bonuses delivered to you, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to unlock this very, very special video and all the bonuses for you. And it's just as simple as going to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. And you know what? It's a little bit of a preview. Let's see what's coming up next on day 3. Whoa, doesn't that look exciting? Well, it sure is, and you'll see that some of our favorite characters are already there. And remember that using these techniques doesn't totally eliminate the need for repetition. It's just using repetition smarter. And so that's the cool thing about the Real Spoken Chinese Vault, is that you get to learn how to use repetition smarter, because you are going to use it, but there are ways that help the repetition get the information very quickly into long-term memory, and that's part of the Ultimate Language Learning Secret. And if you're interested in giving this a try, this is a super bargain, and all you got to do is go to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. You get all these bonuses. Look forward to seeing you over there. Look forward to welcoming you into this Facebook group where you can engage even more. And don't forget that within the Real Spoken Chinese Vault, you get a number of opportunities to communicate with Angel herself, with the rest of the students who are in there. You'll see comments from me, and we're just talking about the Chinese language, and there's so many resources. You can have a real amazing discussion. So that is all available to you. And again, you get all this value just stacking up. Stack that cash, and you know, actually you don't have to stack it at all, because this all comes free, and it's really, really exciting. Total of 902 in bonuses, and that's all at magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. So thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for you to see the rest in the series, and of course you can fast track everything by getting to hear native speakers speak these phrases and the answers to the questions in different variations, different accents, different regions of China, so that when you actually encounter Chinese in real life, you're prepared. Your ears are wide open for variations, and you've seen the text on the screen, and you've been able to interact in multiple ways, and you have a Memory Palace technique under your belt for actually storing the images that you know how to create at an expert level, because you are living the life of memory, and you're a mnemonist, and you're part of this community. So that's magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. Thanks for watching this video, and until we speak again, keep yourself magnetic.